What we covered in the last class, we had a discussion on uh, there are 5 different types of communication barriers that we discussed in the last class. Like what are the barriers? FLI, first language influence. Second is called as geographical influence. Third is called as socio-economic influence. And fourth one is called as educational influence. And fifth one is climatic influence, isn't it? So, and beside that, we also had a discussion that how we can enhance our global comprehensible accent. Global comprehensible accent. And when we talk about global comprehensible accent, so we talked about 6 variety of things which are needed for reaching to that global comprehensible accent, right? So what are they? The first one, we talk about awareness of individual skills or individual communication skills. It means one should have known about how to make a communication skills, right? And for that reason, under the awareness communication skills, we find out 4 things are there. What are the 4 things? The first one is called as a articulation. What do you mean by articulation? That how you speak, right? So articulation can refer to place of articulation and manner of articulation, isn't it? Then the second, we talk about the pronunciation, that how pronounce a word, right, or a syllable, or a sentence, isn't it? So articulation, pronunciation, then third is called as a syllable, word, or sentence structure, isn't it? Then the fourth one is known as a, you can say, intonation, like higher pitch or lower pitch, isn't it? So that comes under what? That come under, you can talk about awareness of individual communication style or skill, isn't it? Then the second one is known as a what? That called as identify areas of improvement, right? So फर्स्ट वन वी नीड टू वर्क ऑन दीज आर द थिंग्स, राइट? इसी के ऊपर हमें काम करना चाहिए. किस किस के ऊपर? दैट कॉल्ड एज आर्टिकुलेशन, देन आफ्टर प्रोनाउंसिएशन, देन आफ्टर सिलेबल, वर्ड एंड सेंटेंस, देन द फोर्थ वन इज इंटोनेशन, राइट? इनके ऊपर हमें काम करना चाहिए. देन सेकंड वन इज कॉल्ड एज identify the area of improvement. When we talk about identify the area of improvement, it means we talk about interchanging the sound. Interchange ମାନେ କ'ଣ? କୋଉଠି s ଲାଗୁଛି and କୋଉଠି sh ଲାଗୁଛି, isn't it? So that's shows the nothing but the symbol where we use the, where we use the, right? So that is known as a interchanging of sound. Second is called as, in that we need to improvise ourselves. Second one is known as a called as a MTI, mother tongue influence. We need to check ourselves. हमें अपने आप को देखना चाहिए कि means when we speak any of the language, so whether we use our mother tongue into it or not, right? If we use it, then it is known as a mother tongue influence. So we need to prohibit that. Prohibit means stop that doing, right? So then you would find out that what? Incorrect stress, right? Even if we speak English, but we do not know the emotion present in our sentence or not, emotion that present in our sentence or not. So that's known as a stress, right? So we can say that higher stress or lower stress. Then fourth one is called as a inappropriate intonation. When we talk about inappropriate intonation, means how we how our volume is. Volume means called as the sound, right? Whether it is a moderate, whether it is a low, or whether it is high, right? So we need to look at our intonation. So, or it is a flat intonation, right? So this is the second part, right? Then the third, we understood about developing an understanding of the phonetic style or phonetic system. Develop an understanding of the phonetic system, isn't it? Then you talk about understand the syllable stress, and you can talk about intonation, right? And the fifth one is called as a correct, improve, and practice, right? Once you understand your problems, you need to improve it, you need to make it correct, and you need to practice it regularly, isn't it? Then the sixth one is called as a evaluate improvement. So you see that whether you are improving or not on these sound-based topic. So these are nothing but the six variety of ways through which we can enhance our global comprehensible skill, right, in any of the language. So then we discuss the introduction to phonetics, where we identify that where we use su, where we use sa, where we use the, where we use the, right, and how they, how they change the sound, right, change the meaning also, isn't it? So that's what, and we find out some of the example like sultry, sugar, heavy, heave, haven. Then after you can talk about tout and boat, or you talk about cushion and million, isn't it? So you find out what cushion and million, they don't present the same means sound, but the letter present into it, right? That present shows the similarity, right? So that is what we find out. Chair, chaos. Chair is a ch, chaos is also ch, but the sound is different. So frown, blown, or you talk about polka and talk, and worm and sturm, people and leopard, laugh and ghost. So these are the couple of things that we understood in the introduction to phonetics. We also come to know that means letters and sounds. How many letters in the as for the International Phonetic School, right? As for the International Phonetic School, that is called as IPS. As per the IPS, means how many sounds we have, how many letters we have. We understand that there are 26 letters, right? Out of that, 5 are vowel letters and 21 are consonant letters. Similar to that, we have 44 sounds. Out of that, 8 are vowel, 12 are diphthongs, and 24 are means consonant sounds, right? 24, 12, 8, isn't it? So then we go for the means when we understood that consonant sounds, vowel sounds, and diphthongs, we need to know that what they are, what kind of a sound they present, right? And how we can identify the symbol of those, isn't it? So first thing we'll go for the consonant sounds, right? When we talk about consonant sounds, please do remember there are means you can say that how many consonant sounds we have? 24, right? Now 24 consonant sounds are segregated. Segregated like what? You can say 6 are plosive sounds. 6. How many sounds plosives are? 6. 6 plosive sounds. Please do remember in exam you will get the question how many plosive sounds are there. So because these are called as objective based questions, so they definitely ask how when they put the 20-mark question. In that 20 mark, you may find out 5 questions, 2 mark, and another 5 question, another 10 marks become the 1 mark or something like that. So 6 plosives are there. Now, what do you mean by plosive? You know, plosive is called as a boom, explosive, isn't it? Plosive means called as a explosive. Then second is called as a fricative, right? Fricative, free. Fricative is called as a 9 fricative sounds are there. Plosive, 6 plosives, 9 fricatives. Now, what do you mean by fricative? When you find out the means air coming out from your mouth, right? Fricative, fa, right? So similar to that, 2 affricates are there. Fricate, affricate. So as A is used, affricate means called as a no air will come out. Fricative is called as a air will come out. Affricate is no air will come out. Then next one is called as a nasals. Nasals means what? The sound come from your nose, not from your mouth, right? When you say right, ma, right, or na, or so those are called as a nasal sound. So there are 2 nasal sounds that you find out, which is called as right? Another will be, I think, ma, something, not ma, no, and low, something like that. Okay, ठीक है. So nasals are three nasal sounds are there, which I'll discuss later. So just to segregate how many sounds you find out, right? You find out in consonant 24 sounds, 9 are fricatives, 6 are plosives, affricates are 2, nasals are 3, and semi-vowels are 3. Semi-vowels 3, semi-vowels 3, and laterals are 1. Right? So in that case, you find out total 24 sounds are there. Got my point? Now, semi-vowels means what? What do you mean by semi-vowel? Okay, and lateral means what? Lateral means something which L, right? Okay, let's look into it. Now, these consonant sounds are used in the phonetics in two ways. What are the two ways? One is called as means articulation, place of articulation. Second one is called as a manner of articulation, isn't it? Place of articulation and manner of articulation. You can see the picture is given, a picture of the mouth, right? Nose. So, so every sound has a two aspect with respect to its articulation. So what are they? Now every sound that has two aspect. What are that two aspect? Place of articulation or manner of articulation, isn't it? Now the picture is given in a briefly to indicate that where is the nose, where is the palate. Palate, you understand? Upper palate. So heart and the tongue, tip of the tongue, tip you understand? So similar to that teeth, right? Upper teeth and lower teeth, upper lip and lower lip. Now your job, and you also talk about glottal, right? Glottis, right? So those of the things, and Adam's apple. Do you understand Adam's apple? Whom do you say? Adam's apple, isn't it? So now let's discuss that. As you understood the structure of the human anatomy, where we talk about that mouth, nose, and that glottis, or called as Adam's apple, right? Now we talk about means how these sounds are placed, right? The first one is called as a each of the articulators help us to produce all various sounds. Each of the articulators. It means when you are talking about place of articulation or manner of articulation, right? So these articulations are helpful when you use each sound, right? So how they produce the various sounds? When you use the tongue, use the teeth, use the lip, right? So they make nothing but some kind of a sound, or some kind of a, you can say that yeah, sounds they produce. Let's see that the sound shape sorry, the sounds have been classified according to their places of articulation. Let's say that the first one is called as a plosives, right? In plosives we have how many sounds? 6 sounds, right or not? Now in plosives you would find out they are called as a bilabial. Now when you say bilabial, what do you mean by bilabial? Bi means two, labial means called as a lips, two lips, right? Bilabial. So by two, labial is called as two lips. So when you find out that two lips connect to each other, they produce the sound, and that sound is known as a what, a plosive sound, right? So under the plosive, what do you find out? Bilabial sound, right? Now what are the bilabial sound? You can say pa pa pa, ba ba, right? Ma ma, isn't it? Then w w w W. So you use the two lips connect to each other. Therefore, it produces pa, ba, ma, W. Got my point? So both the lips are used to produce the sounds, and therefore they are called bilabial. Right? So you can remember it in a very well manner by stating that bi means two, mono means one, poly means multiple. So lab means called as a lip, two lips. So bilabial. So that produce the 4 letters, and you need to remember these 4 letters: pa, ba, ma, w, right? So bilabial. Second one is called as a labiodental, right? So what do you mean by labiodental? Bilabial, lab हुआ था, यहाँ पे क्या है? Labiodental, lab means lips and dental means teeth. right? Labiodental. So in that case, what happened? The sounds called as a b, right? So upper teeth will touch to your lower lip, b. So second is called as a f, right? So in that case, b and f both are called as a labiodental, right? So they are produced when the tip of the tongue, right? Sorry, when you can say that placing the upper teeth of the lower lip, right? Upper teeth with the lower lip. Am I clear to this? Now, the third one is called as a dental consonants, right? So, dental consonants is used with what? Tongue and teeth. Dental consonants. So, dental means teeth, right? It touches to the teeth, tongue, tip of the tongue, right? So, dental consonants are generally used with the tongue and teeth, right? Tongue and teeth. And generally, you would find out the letters that come is called as a ta, right? So the. So tip of the tongue touching to the teeth, right? So teeth आप कहते हो ना? So ta, the, and also you can say ta, right? Ta, and also you can say that the, right? Ta, ta, the, ta, the, ta, right? And it's called as the, right? The for this and the for dental, right? T for tum, right? And ta for you can say titli, right? I'm just using that titli in Hindi word. So, and they are produced when the tip of the tongue touches to the teeth, isn't it? So then you can produce the sound ta, the. You see the signs are given, right? So that signs are known as a ta, the. So then you would find out. So you understood bilabial, labiodental, then that's called as a dental, right? Then the fourth one is called as a alveolar consonants, right? Alveolar consonants is called as a tongue and alveolar ridge, right? Tongue and alveolar ridge. So what is that alveolar ridge? Yeah. So it is stated that what tongue alveolar ridge, the sounds like sa, s, sa, then z. Z sound is called as a z, right? Sa, z, then ta, right? D, then n, and r, and l, right? They are produced when the tip of the tongue touches the alveolar ridge, right? So in that case, they are known as alveolar consonants. So in this, you would find out ta is also used in the dental consonant, right? And ta can be used in a alveolar consonants. Then fifth one is called as a palatal consonant. So palate is called as a upper one, harder one, right? So palatal consonant is generally used with the tongue and palate, right? So and these sounds are generally used with the ja, right? Ja, right? Generally, we say ya, right? Ja. So like that. So these sounds are ja are produced when the blade of the tongue, right? Blade of the tongue touches the hard palate. Hard palate means the upper one, right? So then you find out the sixth one, which is called as a glottal consonant, right? So glottal consonant generally used with the tongue and velum, right? So so tongue and velum, velum is called as a sub part of the palate. You can say sub part of the palate, yeah. So global that's called as a glottal consonant, and these sounds generally used with a g. You touch the soft palate. G or k. G and k. Right. So that is known as a glottal consonant. So these are the six sounds that, or you can say that six variety of consonants, right, that come under the bilabial, right. Then you would find out that what we'll discuss that when we talk about IPA, 44 sounds are there, consonant sounds. So we can talk about the first one, which is the plosives. And when we say that plosives, what comes to our mind? That called as an explosive, explosion, or you can say explode, or you talk about cracker, right? So, and other word in the same context, isn't it? Something which is a like a big in sound, huge sounds, isn't it? Now, if you talk about that, plosives, as the word suggests, it is a set of sounds. It is set of sounds that are articulated in the form of a mini explosion in the mouth, right? Mini explosion means not like you are shouting, right? So when you produce those of the letters, they produce nothing but the mini sounds, and they are called stop sounds. The air is blocked in the mouth. The air is blocked in the mouth and is then suddenly released, right? So, and we talk about that we have six sounds classified under the category, and these six sounds, which we talk about: bilabial, labiodental, dental, alveolar, palatal, and glottal, right? These are the six sounds, can be categorized in which three are aspirated and remaining three are non-aspirated, right? Now you talk about bilabial, and in that bilabial, you find out three are aspirated and another three are non-aspirated. Now, when you say that aspirated and not aspirated means what? That called as that produce the sound, immediate sound, or immediate air, or that do not produce the immediate air, right? So let's talk about the aspirated one. When you talk about aspirated plosives, please do understand, make a kind of a hierarchy, right? So in hierarchy, you talk about sounds and letters. Under the sounds, you talk about 24 sounds, consonants, and 20 are vowel or diphthong. And under the 24 sounds, you would find out, you need to make the diagram like that. Under the 24 sounds, you find out 6 are plosives, 9 are fricatives, affricate 2, and nasal 3, and semi-vowels 3, and you talk about laterals 1, right? So these are called as a 24 consonant sound. Under the 24 consonant, you take plosives and you talk about what are the plosives. You talk about bilabial, labiodental, dental, alveolar, and palatal and glottal, right? Yeah, palatal and glottal. Now you talk about bilabial here, right? Now when you talk about bilabial, have these six sounds. Now these six sounds again segregated into two. What are they? One is called as aspirated, one is called as a non-aspirated. Now the question comes out, what do you mean by aspirated? What do you mean by non-aspirated? Now when we talk about aspirated plosives, right? Aspirated plosives, it means a pop-up air, right? That is released during the articulation of these sounds. The aspirated plosives are what? P, T, K, right? So what do you find out? You find out that so the kind of air we release, what happened? So the kind of air we release when we use the word letter called as a perturker, right? Similar to that, non-aspirated sounds are called as a no pop-up air. So you won't find out the air will come out from your lungs, right? So that is, and they are nothing but b, d, and you can find out g, b, d, g, right? So therefore, they are called as aspirated, non-aspirated. If you want to do the means, study more in a language based, right? MA in English or MSc, so BSc to aapka hai, MA in English, then you can go for the linguistic, right? And in linguistic, you would find out these are the things will be very helpful. And remember that linguistic is some a kind of a course in which you will get a very famous job, or also sophisticated job, lavish job, right? So in that case, you can point out Pataka and Badaga. Am I clear with this? Understood? Now, next is called as let's talk about some activity which is given also. Air football. So it is nothing but an activity which you can read on your free time, right? So let's discuss more about it. Plosive sounds. When we talk about aspirated plosives, we talk about plosives coming under aspirated and non-aspirated. So in aspirated plosives, we find out three letters are there per turka. right? So you can say that punctual, punctual, isn't it? So the leopard, right? So you stress on what? Leopard, right? So you also say that gallop, right? So punctual, leopard, gallop. So here you would find out means these are nothing but examples which indicate that how produce the means what kind of a sound aspirated plosives, right? So to better understand the or to make a practice of it, you can make a tongue twister also, right? The tongue twister which is given like a poor passenger was poisoned by a piranha, right? A poor passenger was poisoned by piranha, right? So in all these cases, you find out the beginning letter is a pa, right? Now everybody must think that why tongue twister is needed. Now tongue twister is needed to help you to articulate the letter pa, ta, ka, ba, da, ga, sa, sha, isn't it? These kind of a letter. Similar to that ta, aspirated one, right? Aspirated plosives. So you can say teeth, button, isn't it? Bullet. So you produce the sound, right? Teeth, bullet, button, right? In all these cases, you find out the air is coming out, right? So even you find out the tongue twister is given a toy train takes Timothy to Trentwall, right? A toy a toy train takes Timothy to Trentwall, right? Now, in all these cases, toy is repeated many a time, right? So, similar to that, third one is called as a ka, pataka. So, ka is indicating as a means Christmas, right or not? Christmas, though it is used with the C, H. We know now chaos and uh, cherry, chair or cherry. So chair and cherry, and here also indicating Christmas. So similar to that trickle, right? Or you talk about ballistic. So here you use the t, which is produce the sound of k, right? So sorry, ch. You are using ch, it produces the sound of k, right? Charismatic or Christmas or trickle or ballistic. You can also make the tongue twister like Kelly complained. Then Kelly complained about the choir at the Cambridge College, right? Choir, Cambridge College, Kelly, isn't it? In all these cases, it tries to point out how you produce the sound curve, right? And observe that whether it is a fricative, aspirated or non-aspirated. Not fricative, affricative. Fricative, affricative are the part of the sound, right? Like part of the consonant sound, isn't it? Now, similar to that, but aspirated, non-aspirated, that come under bilabial, isn't it? So, and non-aspirated plosives are what? Where the air doesn't come out, right? So, like you can say that what are the letters that come under non-aspirated? Then the, badaga, right? Pataka, badaga, right? So, badaga. So, for Byzantine, right? By bubbles, or you can say absurd, right? Byzantine, bubbles, or absurd. So these are called as a beginning, middle, and at the end, where bar is used. So in that case, Billy bought a big board from the Bargain Festival, right? So Billy bought a big board from the Bunty Bargain Festival. So in that case, all these cases, you would find out bar sound is used, right? So in non-aspirated, ba is there, da also there. Da can produce the sound dance, right? Dance, or you say that grandeur, the grandeur, middle may use one. So, and also you say cascade, last may use one, isn't it? So dance, grandeur, cascade. In all these places, you would find out da is used beginning, middle, and at the end. So, if those are the places, if a da is used, how it's supposed to be produced? Uh, uh, grandeur. You can say that something which is a huge, right? Like हम कहते हैं ना, grandiloquent, right? Grandiloquent, pompous, right? Pompous, Pompous, pompous. Or you can say that, yeah, grandiloquent. The grand means grand festival. You say na. So what do you find out? Grand is there. Grand means something excessive or big, right? Grandiloquent, somebody who talk a lot, right? Am I clear? So that is why. So cascade means called as a fall. Cascade means falling. Okay. Am I clear to the till this? Huh? Now next it's called as a girl, right? But girl, no, girl is what? That called as a, how you pronounce girl? Grudge. Grudge. Grudge means called as a kind of a revenge, right? You can say that. Or vagabond. Vagabond means called as somebody who move here and there without any purpose. Vagabond, right? So, and a log. Log is called as a log of the wood, right? Log of the wood. So, set up. So, in that case, gus is indicating how you produce it. Grudge, or called as a vagabond or log. Right. And bird dog are what kind of a sound? Non-aspirated. Aspirated are pataka. And these two come under what? That called as a bilabial. Right? Bilabial. And bilabial come under one of the consonants. Right? Plosives. Isn't it? So, next stage called as a, yes, that's okay. Then it is stated about the pa sound. And how the power is divided. Now, look into it. When you look at the means one of the word, right? You need to observe the word from the left to right, and try to see that what it is stated. So it helps them understand the difference in the articulation of the two sounds that would be look at the means voiced and voiceless sound. Now again, you find out what means bilabial. Under the bilabial, you find out all the six, and those six are segregated into three parts: aspirated and non-aspirated. Now you go for what that called as a voiced and voiceless. Now, what do you mean by voiced? Now, voiced is called as a where your sounds come out, and voiceless is called as a where your sound diminish or degrade. Right or not? So it is stated that while articulating the per sound, place your hand on the throat here, right here. So place your hand or finger. You can say that. Place your hand on your throat. You would feel no vibration. However, no vibration. Right. Uh, right. I don't. It does not vibrate. Okay. Place your hand on your throat, you would feel no vibration. However, while articulating the b sound, b, vibrating. B is vibrating. P is also vibrating. Everything is vibrating because, okay, no issue. So, however, while articulating the b sound, you would feel the vibration in your throat. Any sound, b. Okay. Any sound that produces vibration is called a voice. Now you just remember the theoretical knowledge that called as any sound that is vibrated. It's called as a voiced, right? And any sound that is not vibrated is called as a voiceless, right? So in that case, here it is given. We understood pa and ba. Pa is a voiceless and ba is a voiced. Because I told you, on the basis of the theory, you need to follow that, right? Maybe somebody, but in practically, if you see that everything is vibrating, maybe we are reaching to that level where we can find out we can speak good English. No mistake. It's actually means. Why do I tell that? Because I studied in a linguistic part, and I know that per, which one is a voiced and which one is a voiceless. Fine. So bean, bat, bug, bet, bend. Right. Bill, bit, beer, balm, best. Right. So maybe they check something which is nothing but called as a, uh, thoroughly observe. Right. So because sometimes like you can't see the, germs in your naked eye, but you can see them through your microscope. Uh, uh, uh. That's what we need to observe, and that can be observed when you go deeper part into it, right? So leave it. You can see that. Please bring Peter a book and a post Bob's package today. Wow, the building has plenty of beauty salons and post bookstores. Now that called as a power mixed with the tongue twister. Right. Now they are nothing but called as a what? Means voiced and voiceless. So please understand bilabial, aspirated, non-aspirated, then voiced and voiceless. Keep in your mind. Now bilabial are 6 sounds, aspirated, non-aspirated, 3, 3, and voiced and voiceless depend upon the pa and ba sound. Right? Now, why do I repeat those of the things? Because they put the question like this only. Right. So one has to remember that everything. Okay. Your time is up, na? Thank you. But we will also discuss more, means more important details in the latter class. Next classes, right, or further classes. So, like where we discuss about fricative, we'll discuss about affricates, right? So vowels and vowel sounds, diphthong sounds. Beside that, also we talk about syllables, stress. କାରଣ ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ଯଦି ନ ମନେ ରଖିବ ତାହେଲେ ତମେ କେବେ ହେଲେ ବି ଆନ୍ସର କରିପାରିବନି, ରାଇଟ୍? ଏବଂ କ୍ଲାସରେ ହିଁ ତମେ ସେଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଭଲସେ ବୁଝିପାରିବ ଏବଂ କରିପାରିବ। ତମେ ପଢିପାର, ରାଇଟ୍? But it will not go to your mind until unless you see them in a form of picture, right? ମୁଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଛି ଗୋଟେ ପିପିଟି କରିବା ପାଇଁ, right? So PPT ରେ ସବୁ symbol ଗୁଡା use କରିବି as well as sounds ଗୁଡା ମଧ୍ୟ load କରିବି, so ସେଗୁଡାକ ଆମେ ଦେଖିବୁ, ଠିକ ଅଛି? That's all. Thank you. We'll meet on, I think, next coming Thursday.